it is, on one level, a ghost story, but it's a psychological dissection of corruption of innocence. We've set it in the 50s, in the year that it was written. And I think what's useful about that, it stops it simply being a Victorian ghost story. It stops sort of wrapping it up in sort of, you know, BBC classic series velvet.
We didn't want to dismiss it as a ghost story and wanted to really hone in on the psychological side of the torment of this woman locked in a house that wasn't under a sort of smoky veneer of a Victoriana and a sort of gothic smokescreen, but something that was a little bit more modern and immediate and had the fears and terrors that we all have.
It becomes a piece set in the last time when which one could describe as innocent, the 50s. And at the same time, a place where a lot of things were repressed and kept under.
The basic set is a rotating, revolving and tipping glass wall. It's aiming to be the membrane, the barrier between these different worlds, the barrier between reality and dream, between sanity and madness, between nature, the inside and the outside. In an obvious and crude way, it is like the turning of the screw, but more than that, it has a sort of lyricism and I think a great beauty, especially with Mark Henderson's lighting, which leads us from scene to scene, so the scenes flow from one to the other.
The music of ghosts and the music of living people has a fantastic relation. That means the closest possible relation of being one tone apart from each other, or one semitone actually. And these two worlds coexist throughout the piece, and only at the end of each act there's a certain resolution of it.
It's a brilliantly wrought piece with an absolute economy of means. It brings endless changes. I think it's a phenomenal achievement, a musical achievement, a sort of perfect artifact.
It's a jewel of form, not so easy to discover for the first listening, but when you dig in and start to study it, and maybe for more clever ears in the audience, it really reveals such a mastery which is not paralleled in the operatic world.
You could have this sort of, you know, thrilling construct which would be of interest to anybody who's interested in music, but what he's managed to do, it's rather like doing Racine or something. The passion of the piece beating against the construct of the form gives it its allure, it gives it its vibrancy, and makes it so it's that flashpoint between content and form.
There is a fantastic musical depiction of the coach. Here I would like to say, as at many places in the opera, Britten is able to create the most effective thing. He chooses 1, 2 or 3 instruments, and with them he creates a complete sense of drama or picture.
It's interesting that this piece, which skirts the relationship between children and adults, I think makes it still a rather disturbing experience for people, and it makes you examine the way one deals with the innocence of others.
I think the purpose and the aim of the work is to keep it completely open, that everybody can translate the meaning of the piece into his or her own life.